Hi, this is Judd at PresenterMedia. If you're watching this, you're probably wanting to learn a little bit more about the SlideClips video maker. So let's get started. If you're signed in, you can go up to the top navigation and slide over to the far right where it says SlideClips Video Maker. Click on that. It'll take you to the page with all the templates for the SlideClips Video Maker. In the middle of the page, you have Start from Blank or Start from Template. Start from Blank will just open up the SlideClips app with nothing in it, just start from blank. So if you're a newbie, I would just skip that and go start from template. Click that, it just scrolls down to all the templates here. We have 3 different categories. We have widescreen, social media, and social media 2, which is social media 1 is the square 1x1, social media 2 is the vertical 9x16. And we also have that widescreen up here for presentations. And I'm going to click View More to see more templates. Okay, so I can just look through all these templates and find one I want to start working off of and go from there. I think we'll just go with this one right here. And it loads all the slides up. If there's more slides, it'll just take a little bit longer to load, but that one loaded pretty quick there. So let's get started looking at the interface of SlideClips. So on the left side, we'll have the slide manager where you'll see all your slides in order from 1 going down. You can reorder these by dragging and dropping. You can view your slides in a different way by clicking the slide sorter, which if you have a lot of slides in your video, it's a good way just to see them all at once. Otherwise, if there's more slides than this window, you'll have to scroll down. You can add a blank slide by clicking Add, and you'll just start from scratch on that slide. The easiest way, I think, to do it is just going off of a slide that's already pre-designed, animated, and created. So that's the slide manager right there. Pretty simple. You can copy slides by clicking this button, and you can delete them by clicking the one with the little trash can on it. And if you delete something, it'll be gone forever, so just make sure that you want to delete the slide. Okay, let's move over to the File button, which has options underneath it when you click it. You can load project, which will just load a brand new project. So if you have saved projects, you can just load them if you're inside SlideClips. You can save a project, so I'll show you how to do that here. I'm just going to call this My New Saved Project. And once you have a title in here, you can go to File, Save Project, and it'll save your new project with your name. So you can go back and edit it later or whatever you want to do with it later. So new project will just pretty much start from blank. Import slides. You can import slides from previous projects that you have saved, so just keep that in mind. You can also load from a template, which you can search our templates and just click to load one in. You can add to current or start new. So start new will just pretty much load that whole template for you and make this one go away. So add to current will just throw those slides, give it a second here while it loads, throw those slides into your existing slides, so you can pick whichever ones you want. I'm holding shift click to click multiple slides at once and then hit delete. And do I want to delete those 3 slides? Yes. And now I'm just left with this one. So kind of a good way just to add slides and build a video out of pre-made slides that we've designed already. So let's see, download it as video. We'll get to that at the end. Change project size. You can change the size of your project, but you'll have to change the design to fit inside those design areas. It's best just to start with a pre-designed social media vertical or square and go from there. Let's see. Okay, let's keep moving on here. You got your work area here. This is where you do all your editing of your text and images, icons, logo, if you had a logo. So we'll get to that here. I'm just going to explain this sidebar here quick and what it does. These are all for just loading things into your work area. So we'll just go over it really quick and explain it. So My Media and Uploads is just where you have saved any kind of images, logos, or anything you've uploaded in the past. You can upload media from here, and then you can just add it to a project. So that's just if you have a logo or something, or a photo that you want to add, that's how you do it there. Animations. This is just pretty much our animation library brought into SlideClips. So I can load any of these objects in. A second there. So I got that animation, looks good, and I can add any of these objects in. I'm playing the slides right now just to show you the animation playing, but it'll play outside of the preview too. Let's go clip art. Same thing. I can add a clip art, any kind of clip art I want, and move it around. Music. I'll show you that in a minute. Shapes, just icons. You can add any kind of icon you want in here, and there's also some shapes you can add as well if you're gonna build your own kind of design. Slide library. This is just one slide layouts that will load in. So if I load this in, just load one slide. So slide templates have multiple slides they load in. Slide library just has one. I can add a text box in, and title art. This is probably the most powerful thing of SlideClips. If I go, I'm just going to add a blank slide. I'm going to throw in a background really quick, and oops, went to the wrong thing. Okay, well, I'll add a title art, and these are all pre-designed animated title art. So I'm going to add this one right here. That looks good. Nice question mark animation. Looks good. So these are all, and I'm going to play the slide quick, and you can see, yeah, that's all in there. Good. All right, let's stop that. And I can delete that out, and I can add any title art in here. Oops, I just hit my mic, so sorry about that if it sounded loud in your headphones. So these are groups that I can just move around, change the size of, and play. And you can see that it plays wherever I move it, it plays at that spot. So that's kind of cool. Okay, I'm gonna go over one thing down here, video backgrounds. You can add these in and right click set to background. So you'll see that when I play it, the background's playing now with the video. Pretty cool. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go over groups a little bit. So I was talking about groups are very powerful. That's a very powerful part of SlideClips, and what those are is just this right here. It's just a group I can move around. I can resize by clicking these circles around the selection box like that, and I can move it anywhere and it will play wherever I move it. And if I want to edit the text inside there, it's sitting right over here. So I'll explain editing text in just 1 second here. But to edit the group or what's inside the group, I can click edit group. I can double click the group, or I can right click edit group. So usually I just double click and it opens up where I can move the elements around and the text around. So you might need to move the text around if it goes too far over. So spicy text. This might, oops, hit turn. Okay, so that fitted in there nice. But if it ever stretched out over something and you need to move it and squash it, this is where you go and you can do that. So, okay, to close out of a group, you hit close up here or close group editor, and now it's back into the original workspace, and you can move it around wherever you want. And that's going back to the first slide. That's what these are. They're groups. that have different elements contained in them. And down here, this is where you play your slides. So there's play from and play all. Play from will play from the slide that you have selected. Play all will just play from the first slide. Okay. So let's look at text and how to change text really quick. So text kind of works just like any other application. You can double click into it and you get your cursor marker where you can drag and select words to delete. Okay, so and you can change text from over here in the text edit tab over here. So underneath I can change tips from working from home, tips for working at, I don't know, school, maybe. There we go, tips for working at school. And I'm not a teacher, so I don't know a lot of tips for teachers working at school, so I will just make one up. Keep calm. Yeah, I think that's probably something you should do. If you're a teacher, try to keep calm. I'm guessing kids can get out of hand pretty quickly. I know mine can. Right, so text. Let's go back to this slide. I'm going to add a text box. Oops, keep clicking the wrong one here. Text box, there we go. And I'm going to add this text here. And so with the text box, you can resize it by clicking the selection box, these circles on the edges. The ones in the middle will kind of just change the size of the selection box or the text box. And also up here you can change the font type. You can change the size of your font here as well. So that's there. You can change the height, the line height to whatever you want. You can change the character spacing, which will stretch or space out the letters. You can change the style to bold, to underline, to italic. You can justify left, right, center. You can change the color of the text. I'll change that to white. You can also use the eyedropper here to select the color of the text. Oops, detached. So let's go back to white here. You can also change the transparency of the text. Okay, and let's jump over here to effects quick. So I'm gonna kind of jump through these tabs over here. So as we're still on text, I'm going to show you the gradient tool. So that's the first one under effects. And if I double click on the first circle color swatch, I can change that to something like that color. You can choose whatever color you want, but and that color, save. So I got this nice gradient. I can go up and down. I can go from left to right, and I can go from corner to corner. I'm going to go corner to corner, and you got to click apply text to see what it looks like. Okay, that's cool. And then you got the stroke. You can add a stroke. Right now it's using the same color that I selected last, so I'll need to go into the stroke color and change that. So I got it to white, and then you got your shadow tools down here, and maybe you can see that shadow on the dark background, but if you can't, I'll just change it to white, and now you can see it there. You can change shadow color or whatever you want to change the color to for the shadow. Cool. All right, that's the text. I believe that's all the text tools. All right, so let's go make another blank slide and put in a background. Say you want to change the background or add a background. to set it to the back layer where it can't be moved, once you add a background, you just right click set as background and it moves it to the far back. And I can't select it or anything, it's just set back there. Okay, so once I have that set to the background, if you want to manipulate an image or a picture or a logo or whatever you bring in, well, for a background, it's got to be detached from the background. If I go up to this filters tab, I can change the hue color of an image, saturation of an image, the brightness. You can just play with these settings to get a look I like. I can blur it, I can pixelate it, change the contrast. A lot of different options to get a different look for your images or your photo. I right click and set to background. Now I have a totally different look to my slide. So that's how you use the filters there. So you got filters, effects, you got your text edit, and you got your layers. So layers, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all my layers, and then I have a background image that's set to background. So if I detach that background, I can move it around again. And if I set it as background, it just jumps right to the background. Let's see. Okay. Let's move on quickly to the timeline down here. I'm going to quickly explain this. I'll go over it more detail in a different video tutorial, but let's take a look at it real quick. So all these groups here are set at a different time to come in. So think of it, so if I click into this, it's got its own timeline. So the group has its own timeline because all the elements inside of it are animated. So you can see that, where is it? Yeah, this post-it note has a zoom in from 0 seconds to 1 second. This text has a fade in from 1 second to 2 seconds, and this icon also has a fade in from 1 second to 2 seconds. So let's quickly take a look at that when I play it. Once this comes in, that comes in first, and then those come in. So you saw that there was a delay. You see it didn't come in right away. So when you're outside of the group, when you're not inside the group editor, you can change when the group comes in. So you can see this comes in at 1 second outside of the group timeline. So when you double click in, you can access the group timeline, and outside you have the regular timeline. So you can see that comes in 1 second, 3 seconds, and 5 seconds. These come in, and you can see that play out when I play through the slide. 1, 2, 3. And that's kind of how you control stuff on the timeline. Like I said, I'll get more detail. Oops, okay, more detailed into that when I do the other video tutorial on timeline. Yeah, so let's play through these quick. So also on the timeline, you can set the duration of your slide. You can see this is at 8.5. This is at 12. This is at 12. Well, let's just put that one out of there. This one is at 10. So I'm going to play all, and since this is set at 9 seconds, you'll see the highlighted area stay as you preview, and once it gets to 9 seconds, it will jump to the next slide and change the duration of this slide. So once it gets to 12, it's going to jump to the next slide, and so on. So it goes to the next slide, and that slide is 10 seconds long. So just keep that in mind when you're previewing, that's what's happening down in the timeline, as that animation ticker kind of moves forward on the timeline and then jumps back to the 0. It's just switching slides and showing you the duration of that next slide. Okay, well, that I think does it. That was a long tutorial, so thanks for sticking with me through that. Like I said, there will be some more advanced tutorials to check out if you want to learn more about the timeline. One other thing I'm just going to do here, I'm going to show you how to load custom animations and clip art. So I'm just going to click this button. This is a customizable button. Let's try a different one here. Oh yeah, that's like a notebook, customizable notebook. So you can't change the text on these right now. Inside SlideClips, you'll have to go to Edit over here. So once you load a custom one in, you'll get this Edit option. And I click Edit, then I'll get the option, just like if you've used the customizer outside of SlideClips for animations, videos, and clip art, this is what it looks like. So just kind of can move stuff around and position. You can change the text, just how I did before. You can change it over here in the text edit, or you can double click into it to change it. And then you click Build Custom Graphic. I'm not going to do that right now because just for time wise, we're almost at, we're at 21 minutes. That's getting long. So I'll do advanced tutorial on loading in custom projects as well. Let's quickly save this video out and call it a day. So really quick, I'm just going to delete these out. I'm just going to keep these two slides. So say I like this template I created, this slide clip. I'm going to go save, and it says overwrite and save. Yes, because I had saved it previously. I just want to overwrite what I did and save over that version. And now I'm going to go to File, Download as Video, click OK, and everything is working in the background and making your video in the background. So you can just keep on making a new slide clip, or go to other places in the website, go look for other content, make any other custom graphics, and this is all working in the background making your video. So it will alert you right down here in the bottom right hand corner when the video is done. So here it is right now. So it says my new save project is completed. So I can either click here to go to My Media, or I can go up at the top and go My Media and Uploads. And when I click into there, now I'm in My Media, My Custom Media and Uploads. And it gives you a list of all the custom stuff that you've created, and this is where you see it. So the one I just did will be at the top, where I can download it. I can click to save, which will save it forever. If you don't, it'll be deleted after 90 days. You can redo it, or you can delete it. So previewing it, you just click on the preview and it should come up. Oh, I clicked too fast. Okay, there we go. All right, looks good. All right, I'm actually going to go back. If you want to stick around, if you're done and you think you've learned enough, that's fine. I'm going to go back and redo this quick because I forgot to show you how to load audio. So once the slides load back in and my project is opened, I can just go over to Music tab, click on that, and search through the library of music. And they're pretty descriptive, but you can play them with the play button or add them with the plus button. I like this island sunrise loop, so I'm going to hit the plus sign to add that. You can play on this slide, which will just add it only to this slide, or you can play across multiple slides, which will play across all the slides that you have in your project. And I will play it only on this slide, and you'll see I'll get this icon up here, this little speaker. If I click on that, I can adjust the volume from down here, and I can do a fade in at the beginning, and let's see what that sounds like. Cool. Music is added, more dramatic now, and just yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks for sticking with me as long as we went. I think it was about 21 minutes, so it's probably the longest tutorial I've done. So yeah, I appreciate it, you listening and sticking with me on that. Yeah, we'll see you on the next tutorial. I'll have some more coming out, with the advanced features of SlideClips. So check those out when you see them. Thanks. Bye.